We ain't got it. Fat broke. We ain't got it. Don't spend no money. Ain't got no clothes. Ain't got no cars. Ain't got no hoes. We broke.
Ladies and gentlemen.
We're now listening. 1, 2. Twimbos. We ain't got it.
Testing levels, clipping, everything seems in order.
Order.
Check.
Chicken and chips.
Order.
All the fries.
Have you ever seen Parliament like sessions that are broadcast on ZTV, and then like the ladies shouting order?
Every time I shout chicken and chips,
Yes,
extra spicy.
That's what I'll be waiting for. 107 order.
You saw what happened last week when they're like throwing a tantrum and stuff like that. I'm just saying, just keep quiet. We might.
Alright, order. This is Two Broke Twimbos. We're back with another episode. This time we've got the legendary Sanii Makhalima in the building.
Mr. Makhalima.
On my Discord, I'm with Mr. Makhalima.
Oh, now you see, but not auto tune. I don't have the Anyway, okay. My name is Danny, that guy, aka Genius, aka the only guy, aka your girlfriend probably pities me, aka done more. When you look at my wallet, it's more like done less.
That's right. And he's here with the one and only, the honorable, soon to be doctorable, Phil Chad, aka Fling Floss, the big boss, baby, aka Pizza P, aka Sexington Lovu, aka Shamari, the Tengro Drink.
My name is Sanii Makhalima, aka Mwanano Garachi for the moment Chimuti Chakachikoka.
What is that?
My aka Agati one day and guys, what the hell? AKA this, AKA that. Broke Twimbos.
We were hoping to have this interview together with your brother, because do you know what? Do you know what would be
For
great?
what? No.
Because you guys have such differing views.
No, then interview him by himself. What the hell?
My ego,
I used to ego shot. And shiny yakin shiny yangu.
Not even that.
No, you know paying.
How many interviews have we done and your guys' names keep popping up? Like,
well,
Munyadzi Nyota and Begotten Son.
Yeah.
Cindy.
Grew up with those guys. Yeah.
Steven Stanner.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a whole host.
Fam.
So you guys are entrenched in the Zim music scene, the urban groove scene. So it's only befitting that,
Nice on the use of entrenched, man.
Yes, I've also got that dictionary app.
That Ayagaipa dictionary.
Do wearing a word of the day, Mdara. No is here. Every morning and tripa toyas. Do wearing a nasty word of the day, entrenched. Ingrained or part of. Okay.
Embedded.
Then use it in a sentence and voila.
And all of a sudden we seem clever.
Yes.
Using these big words.
Do you know the education, Mdara?
Anyway, Son.
Yes.
Look, man. I don't think there's many Zimbabweans that don't know the name Sanii Makhalima.
That's a blessing. Well, that's well, yeah. Speechless. Continue, Dan.
Yeah, well, I mean, but how did it start?
It started with my mom saying I'm making a whole lot of noise at home when I was like really, really small, and I'm like, no, mom, I can sing. She's like, you're making noise, youngster. So it was one of those. My brother was a big influence. He put together some groups. When I say groups, I'm talking about a couple of groups. He used to sing together with Mr. Bell.
He used to sing?
Oh yeah.
Delani used to sing.
Delani sings, man. So
was like a Barry White kind of singer.
He used to do the bass and stuff like that.
He's got that 90s R&B boy. Hey girl, come here.
If you listen to that guest song, mama, the one with Alex in there. He's the guy that comes and says, am I? And trying to do all that.
He was like the Michael of Boyz II Men.
I kid you not, he's gonna kick me when he hears all this. But yeah, it started then. He used to sing with Odious, Mr. Bell, very, very long time ago. They had a group called Cliche.
If you'd like to hear the Odious episode, scroll up.
So yeah. So it was one of those things when I think I was like 8, 9 when I was like, okay, maybe I must start trying to sing and stuff like that, because he a couple of years older than me, couple, not 2, I'm just saying a couple isn't plus 2, but he's like a fossil and stuff like that.
Maybe it's a good thing we didn't have your
an ancestor,
fight breaks out in studio, twin brothers,
so it's one of those. So I decided, maybe I must try this. So he was very instrumental in developing my passion inadvertently or directly, whatever it was. But he was quite a huge influencing factor. From there, when I got to high school, young Sani, I went to Vinona High School. I met Thabo Makaya. We started Macastrator Studios together. That's where I met up with people like
Cindy.
Cindy, I met at high school, yes. I met Cindy at high school. I went to high school with Cindy. I went to high school with Alexio.
That she was a tomboy.
Yeah, she actually, and she was really skinny. And
Oh.
she was like really skinny. But now she's like,
sat
she's
behind her
she's
at
like
the
a
Nama Awards.
pow,
Yes,
you know.
I sat behind Cindy at the Nama Awards and I was like,
You guys are gonna get me killed, you know. Like these like off the mic guy talk, but you know that kind of. But yeah, Cindy kind of like just, you know, she went. Yeah. So I went to school with Cindy. I went to school with Alexio. I went to school with David Chifunyise. I went to school with Nesto. So with Thabo, we started Macastrator Studios. Macastrator, there we started doing a lot of production, you know, for ourselves, other people, you know, bata my computer, my software, my
what were you using?
We're using Fruity Loops and I think it was Cubase VST 3 point something, 3.7. That's where we started, 3.7 and stuff like that. So, and that was me, you know, being the really getting my hands on PCs and stuff like that. During my primary school, I think I started that's when PCs came in, when I was, I think, my school grade 6, grade 7. But you know, it was one of those MS-DOS commands, those things where you used to tell it C :
How old are you,
hey, dog, quiet. Quiet, you know. So when I went to when I met Thabo Makaya, he was from a very IT, you know, kind of family. They were really into electronics. He had his own PC at home, and I was like, wow, you know. So we used to mess around on his PC, connect his keyboard. His dad bought him his keyboard, and we used to make beats there. We used to make beats. Hey, you see, that's why I say we go way back. That's when people like Nyaradzi Nota, you know, we Changamire, Kudoguru. Yeah, we used to make beats together from way back. So this was like when I was 13. I've known Nota since I was 13. I've known Tatenda Jenami, Take 5, ever since I was like 13, 14, round about that.
Bringing up the government names.
You know, so I like this. I say I grew up with a lot of these guys. We grew up together, you know, and grew up not just to say, hey, I know this is Jenami, but we used to make beats together with Tatenda. We used to make beats together with Nota. You know, we spent like literally Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We were always, you know, together. So from there, and my brother came back from South Africa. He was at Varsity in South Africa. Came back, and he was working for Shamiso, and that's when he decided to release the first compilation, The Future. He got a bunch of musicians. Everything just seemed to happen at the right time, because that's when Innocent Chuma was on radio calling for local musicians to come through and showcase their talent, when he used to do graveyard shifts, and local musicians took that initiative to send CDs through to showcase their talent on the show. We used to record at Chamiso, which funny enough was one of the very few studios in town at that time. Now you walk into town, there's a studio at every freaking, you know, corner. So The Future came out. I was part of a group called Finesse with Thabo Makaya. I was a singer, he was the rapper. I was a producer, he was the co-producer. We did a song entitled Can't You See on the first Future. From there, then we decided, no, you know what, let's disband. Thabo wanted to go into more into production more. I wanted to go into singing more and produce later on. From Finesse, I then did a song with David Chifunyise called Wandada, which came out on his debut album. We did that. Then I did Zuvarangu with Roy and Royce. Then I did Pasina with Plaxidas.
Hey, these names that you're bringing up from back in the day, right?
And then I did and I did Vulela, Miss Malaika, and that's when Usadaro came through after that. And from Usadaro, then which other songs were there? Was Mawoko, there was Ndofe Fetero, there was Akuna Mumwe, there was Seiko, there was let me think also what else was there. There was New Life, which I did with Tererai. There was which, you know what, maybe I must stop there for a second and then you guys can, but basically that's how it all started, and up to that point, that's where it all came through, you know. So during that time, from the Shamiso time, the post Shamiso time, the Galaxy era, that was just slightly after Shamiso. That's when I met people like Rocky, Leonard Mapfumo, XQ. That's when we bumped show. I've known them. I think I was 16 around about there. So I've known these guys from way back. Rocky, XQ, Leonard, Stana. Who else? This is at that era. Quite a few. So we go actually way back with some of these guys during the pre-Urban Groove or whatever first Urban Groove era. So we're just more than friends. Musicians. We're actually buddies, with fam, like that.
Okay, I know that probably for most people, when they think of Urban Grooves, Sanii Makhalima will probably be one of the first names they think of. Please, can you give us a definition, Aman? What is Urban Grooves?
This is my Urban Grooves. First and foremost is a term propounded by Sanii Makhalima that actually should be his copyright. I say this boldly and loudly and clearly because he is the one that created a compilation called Urban Grooves Volume 1.
Mm-hmm. Which is the first time it was probably ever used.
That was the first time that Urban Grooves term was taken into mainstream media, whatever you want to do. From then on, everybody started associating new young music as Urban Grooves. It became more of a genre. Yeah, and that was mainly because of media push, because you used to have, there was Msebe, there was Dendera, there was Tuku music, there was jazz, then there was R&B.
So how does Tuku get his whole own genre?
When you got 60 albums, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You see, so it's one of those whereby what do we call what is this thing that's called? What do we call these new kids that are coming? With these funky looking videos and are singing a shonified version of R&B. What do we call it? And it after it was called Urban Grooves, basically was the compilation, and then the media, I could say, lashed onto it for it to become a genre. For us, Urban Grooves is a lifestyle. It's a definition. Urban Grooves, to say good Urban Grooves, there's dancehall. Decibel was Urban Grooves. You see. So for all these guys, and Decibel is very much dancehall. Sniper was Urban Grooves with Gede back in the days, and Binya, Kubinya, Kuvura, remember that song? That was all Urban Grooves. Now, when you start saying Urban Grooves versus dancehall, Muruchi, those are the kind of things. David Chuvonyise was part of the so-called Urban Grooves. He was doing rap. Kingpin was part of Urban Grooves at that time. So when you guys are now saying hip hop versus Urban Grooves, you guys you're really confusing some of us, because it is a movement more than it is a genre. It's a lifestyle. It's a way of life. It's something that helped us get out, because it was very, very, when I say very difficult to get your music played, it was very difficult to even record, to get cassettes made, because that time they used to make cassettes, man. Remember? Yeah. CDs, yes, were there, but it was difficult. So it needed to be called something for it to move. And the media decided to call it and brand this collective music, whether it's dancehall. As long as you are a youngster and you are doing music, they used to say, you're an urban groover. That's what panned, So that's basically. But it's more of a lifestyle and a movement, I would say.
All right. So what you're saying is, in the same way, hip hop was an avenue for the oppressed youth in the 80s, whether they were doing dance, rap, graffiti, that was an avenue for them to get recognition. Urban Grooves was our equivalent.
Yes, it was a gateway for us to be heard. Mm-hmm. Whether you were doing dancehall, whether you were doing rap, whether you were doing whatever it was, but it was a gateway, because it was very hard. And when I say very hard, nowadays it's a whole lot easier. People have got talent shows that are scouting talent. You go to the radio stations. I'm not saying it's easy to get play. I'm not saying it's hard, but there's such an abundance, of it. There's statutory instruments, laws that support this whole local content issue. There was nothing like that when we started. It was war. You had to do something good, and you had to fight for it to be heard. So it is a battle that we fought, a battle that we won, and a battle that we will never fight again. You see, that's how the way I look at it. life is about progression. Country is about progression. Society is about progression. And if we're still going to fight the same battle of trying to get heard and get airplay today that we fought 15, 16 years ago when I started, then there's a big problem. It's either we didn't fight well enough or there's something that we're doing wrong within the fight. You see what I'm saying? Now we've passed all that stuff of trying to get heard and airplay. Now we need to do other things. We must now start fighting to do quality music. Other things. We must fight to get a proper industry in check. We must fight to get proper structures in place so that the next generation of people don't have to fight that battle that we've already fought. We've moved. So these are the stages that I believe exist. And I strongly believe that. Each one of us, in terms of the musicians, especially our generation, God has bestowed something in us. So we may come, the Sanies, the Dans, the Delanis, the Winky Ds. We can come and hit against this wall and keep hitting. It doesn't mean that we're failing. It just means that the wall is cracking. It may need somebody else afterwards to come and bazooka through, you know what I mean, to give right through that breakthrough. But it doesn't mean that wall, we're not pounding on that wall before. But if we all sit back and say, this wall is too thick, then we're never going to get anywhere. So we have to constantly keep pushing. We have to constantly keep attacking.
What do you feel you were fighting against? What was...
The system was when I say the system, I'm talking about, for example, distribution channels were very, very, very skewed.
Pretty much. Okay, at the time we had
Grammar Records, and
Grammar
then
Records.
Metro came up. Grammar Records did not want anything to do with us. We would record the stuff, and Grammar were the only manufacturers of tangible products, like cassettes and CDs. I remember we would take our masters fully mixed and stuff like that, the Rowan Royces, the Andireges, and say, Grammar, please make cassettes for us. And this is a true story, you can quote me on this. And they would pay for a facility to say, look, make me 2,000 cassettes that I want to take and sell on the streets or to my own little market, wherever. And Grammar would not pack the cassettes. They would say, we've recorded, we've dubbed onto the tapes, come and pack your own tapes, you know what I mean? So we had to then go, after paying for this service for you to make something. Yeah, imagine you pay for a shoe, Bata, then Bata's telling you come and sew your own shoe. So this is what happened, and we used to do this. You can probably ask Rocky as well. We used to do this. Rocky, XQ, Leonard Mapfumo, Bantu Hunters, Delani himself. We would go to Grammar in the morning, 7:30 a.m. We're in Grammar as if we're staff members, and we used to pack cassettes there of our own products that we've paid for already, because these guys refused to do that. So it was a very oppressive kind of system. Now we get out there. These guys don't want to give us a distribution deal because they're saying is you see, there's no market for this. We're like, okay, cool, we'll continue coming here. You guys keep doing what you're doing. We'll continue packing these things when we go and sell them. I think Grammar decided to caught on to the attention. I think we had sold about over 100,000 cassettes.
Wait, what?
We'd sold over 100,000 units.
How much were you making per unit?
I don't remember the figures, to be honest, at that time. But
but like that's not just you, but you mean like
as a collective, yeah. We used to, Galaxy had sold. We'd pushed over. Galaxy Entertainment had pushed over 100,000 cassettes of different products.
Those are some serious numbers.
And where were you selling these?
We're selling them in Zim. What we used to do is that at that time there were the flea markets. So the flea markets would come to the flea markets directly and give these guys the product. But then the product couldn't really sell if the product wasn't heard. So that's why when the radio station started embracing the music and all that other stuff, it made life a little easier, you see. But then the challenge was that now somebody in Victoria Falls wanted cassettes, like I said, what would you do? So the brainchild was Delani. What he used to do is that there was a team of us, I think there was about 20 of us. You find out that he would send Leonard Mafumo on a bus ride to Bulawayo. Leonard is carrying with him probably 500 cassettes in his backpack. He would sleep in the train because we didn't have money for accommodation. So you take the overnight train, you'd sleep in the train, get to Blues the following day, go to all the flea markets in Bulawayo that day, catch a ride to go to Victoria Falls the following day and things like that. That's how we used to distribute the music. That's how it got to the people. That's how all this started. And you'd send, like for example, like I said, Leonard would go to Vic Falls and stuff like that, do that. Somebody else would go to Masvingo, would cover Masvingo Bite Bridge. Another guy would cover the whole trip to Mutare and whatnot. And this was our life. This is what we used to do 24/7, day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out. You see.
And right now there's a rapper sitting in front of his Twitter. We on this grind, we on this hustle. Recording his verses on his iPhone.
No Twitter, you know what I mean?
Upload SoundCloud, I'm done, dog.
I've been doing work, son.
So yeah, we got the attention of these guys after we pushed about over 100,000.
So this was all under Galaxy Records?
Yeah, this is under Galaxy Records.
Wow.
So this is how
truly independent.
This is when I'll be honest with you, when these guys came onto the picture, they messed up everything. So because there was a time when they would sabotage. You know, you'd call and then they say we don't have any Roy and Royce cassettes. Yet there was stacks and stacks of.
This is grammar.
Yeah, this is what was happening. We would call ourselves as clients and then say no stock. You know.
But you knew
we knew there was stock because
you've just come from packing.
Thank you. You know, so it was one of those things. So then when we then had to sever ties with Grammar and things like that, and then there was Metro that came along and same song, different day, and all that other stuff. So, and then there was Murambatsvina, which then literally killed that distribution network. You know,
no more flea
markets. So that's what. Inadvertently it just buried everything. People would say there was a spin along. Yeah, there was a spin along, but things couldn't go through spin along if you're not signed through Grammar. So when we did get the signing through Grammar, the spin alongs and everything like that, you know, they were there, but the numbers that were pushing through the spin alongs wasn't as great as the numbers that would push through the flea markets. I mean, like today, if we release a single, let's just say like Mashoko would release it today on cassette, right? Mashoko today, at the end of the day, it could have sold about 3,000-4,000 units today. That's how effective it was, you know, during our time, that time. And it sounds like you know, peanuts, but look at this. If you're selling something at about $10, like today, if you're selling a CD $5, let's just say $5, and you're pushing 4,000 units between 8 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. That's quite a lot of, you know, it's like 20 grand. So if my maths is correct, yeah.
And then on the 20 grand, maybe taking home 8 to 10.
You know, that's in one day. So you find out that now if you have different products and you've got like 4 or 5 artists and things like that, you know, and then you do this month and you push, you find out that in a month an artist could literally push something like 10,000-15,000 units, you know. And then if you've got 5-6 brands like that, you know, you could be pushing. You see what I'm saying? The figures. That's what it was, and that was because there was flea markets and stuff like that. So when that went, yeah.
Do you know, I had no idea.
Neither did
So,
I.
yeah.
But the counter argument to that is, and one of the reasons that they justified Murambatsvina was, flea markets were pushing pirated CDs. So artists were not getting the money that was due to them because they were pushing counterfeits.
Yes,
Right.
because initially what would have begun happening
No,
is Sanii comes with
Piracy
this tape.
came after Murambatsvina, or the peak of Piracy came after Murambatsvina.
So you
Before that, Murambatsvina, do you remember the days when you used to walk into spin along, guys, and put on headphones and listen to music and sample music and stuff like that? That was before Murambatsvina.
yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? I think back then
When Murambatsvina came,
Mm.
and they took out all the flea markets. The demand was still there. We used to feed people 3,000-4,000 tapes a day. You know what I mean? Now it's not there, and it didn't satisfy that same demand. Do you get what I'm saying? Because the access points were gone. Because people are used to going weekend. I went to a flea market, you'd go there weekend. You go there, say, can I have the new Decibel? But I heard it on radio. No, the guy said it would be here next week. Because we used to have all these relationships with all these different distributors everywhere. So when Murambatsvina came and killed all that stuff, the demand was still there. But the points of as it is right now were absent. So what has happened? People have decided to look for alternative ways. You see, and which is still the case. Whereas now, even if you bring a heavy distribution network, you really need a very, very, very long anti-piracy campaign to really eradicate that. And it's now a culture that, when I say culture, it's a thinking. People are so used to going to White House to put their music on flash. You pay $1, you get the whole Tuku collection. You get one not for $1. You see, it's now becoming. This guy's been doing this for the last 10 years.
This is not an advert. Do not go to White House.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I get what he's saying, because you know what, back then
it's 10 years now of somebody doing that.
Yeah,
now
it
for
was
you to
difficult.
undo it,
Yeah.
it is it's really hard.
So, in an ironic twist, what in Murambatsvina did in fact do was actually breed piracy.
Yeah.
Because people didn't have anywhere to get them legally.
Right.
So guys started burning CDs and selling them for $2-3.
Now
Now people are used to buying stuff at a fraction of what it's worth.
Right.
and I think also the movement of technology.
Now they actually the artists are not benefiting from it. Before that time, before like during that whole pre Murambatsvina era, you could actually benefit from that. But when the flea markets went, because the flea markets were everywhere, in every city, in every growth point, there was a flea market. You understand what I'm saying? And all those things, there was a network. It was a network. We could call somebody in freaking Chiredzi and say, hey, listen, dude, check it out. Our guy's coming next week. We're gonna be dropping off with about 200 CDs. Get your cash ready. Cool. No, mdara 200, and maybe I can try and push it. I can pay for 150. Then the other 50 give me on credit. That existed. Do you understand what I'm saying? And people could literally go and buy these things. They could get them because the flea markets were the point of what? A point of contact. You see, the guys at the flea market would make their markup. The whole chain.
Everyone was eating.
Everyone was eating. Do you understand what I'm saying? But now,
And you guys were making good money, yeah?
yeah, we made good money. We bought studios. That's most of where our returns went, and because studio was one of our biggest costs. Yeah, I mean, I remember there was a time when my parents, my mom was like, I said like, Mom, can I have some money to go to studio? My mom was like, oh, hell no, man, what the hell? You need to work for your money. So my mom used to have this freezit business. So I used to go to the stadium, National Sports Stadium, carrying freezits, selling freezits, weekend, Saturday, Sunday at the soccer games, Rufaro, Chi, tenga sama freezit. Then my mom would pay me, and that was what we used to do for studio airtime.
Money.
So when artists like come to me and say, I'm Dara, and I'm a producer, no, get a life, man. Go freaking hustle. What the hell's wrong with you? Why? Because I did it. That's why. Because I did it. And I'm talking about things that I did. I used to go and get burnt by the sun and get a tan. See, man, see my good looks, man, and how light I So, I used to get burnt by the sun, selling freezits and all these things. So when an artist comes and says to me, Mdara, atina mari yeku recorda, atina chi, what, look, guy, look, man, wake up, smell the coffee. Why? Because I'm telling you, I did it. And as long as you've got, a brain, 2 arms, 2 legs, even without all the arms and legs, and your brain is working, I'm sure you can find a way to make $1 or $2. Yeah, it might take you a little longer than everybody else, but get your hustle on. When you're serious and when you're ready, come back, bring that $1, give Mr. Yeah, produces a hit for you, move on with life. You know what I'm saying? Ask Jabreza.
Wait, is that what you did? You produced his...
Jabreza came a couple of years ago. When we did that
How many years exactly? Because we were actually debating how long he's been around.
Jabreza, I've known Jabreza now quite a bit, but I remember the version of that what you call that song, that Ngoda song, is actually the second version.
Okay.
That that's actually not the original version. The original version, we did it I think 2010 2011 and it featured Ngoni Kambarami. That was the original. And then I remember that time Ja was even like, dude, the studio rates, and he wasn't the brand, as big a brand as he is now. And I'm like, listen, guy, sometimes for you to go 1 step forward, you need to go 2 steps back. I will do my best to produce great music for you, but you need to understand that as long as you don't invest in these things, then these things are not going to plow back into you. When we finish recording the song, I even told him, this song is going to make you a lot of money if you sell it right. If you don't sell it right, you just be another, He went and re-recorded the song with his band and the other producer, Chablan, and they did a magnificent job, of that particular song. And that is one, or if he doesn't do shows without that particular song. It's one of the most powerful songs that he's actually ever put together. But again, we go way back,
All right, man.
So
Dope. Okay, that's interesting stuff about Ja Praiser.
yeah, super interesting,
What I wanted to ask actually was a bit about your producing, because you're giving us an indication of when you actually started singing.
Yeah.
But when did you start producing music?
I've always
for
been a
others?
producer. It's just that I didn't come out on the forefront as a producer. Most of the stuff I did, either I co-produced with my brother or I produced. I can how can I put it? Usadaro was co-produced between me and my brother, the original. I played the chords and whatnot, and we came and we redid it with Delani. Same with Ndofe Fetera, same with Hakuna Mwe, so I've always been a producer. It's just I never came out first as a producer, and then I wanted to be the musician first and then the producer. So production actually came out more when I did Gordon Taura and Sira's album. That was I think 2006. That's when I stepped out of just being an artist, but to actually being a producer. And then
This is a Sanii Makhalima production.
yeah, that had to be put on tracks for obvious reasons.
One thing I've always noticed about Sani's music is in every song that Sani's involved in, that name Sanii Makhalima has to come up.
Yes,
It's
it has
like Jason Derulo.
It has to.
Is that deliberate, or you just really like your name?
Look at this.
or-
It's you gotta be smart. It's marketing. If you give him 5 minutes on the airwaves and you've got 12 million people listening, utilize it. One of the biggest challenges was a long time ago, very very long time ago, when I did when I featured on the Roy & Royce Zuvarangu. A lot of the presenters, the DJs, whatever you want to call them, they used to say that's Zuvarangu by Roy & Royce and leave me out of it. But I was part and parcel of the whole, the whole song. So it got me thinking that, look, if you're not going to say my name, I'm going to say my name myself, So that's kind of like where it started. And since then, which is why it is, I think the one that really caught on to people was the Mr. Makhalima. That has just been on almost, yeah, except Mashoko. I apparently Mashoko right now doesn't have it. But, the album edit, definitely. We'll definitely have that. So that's the reason why that was out there, predominantly for identification purposes and marketing purposes, So this is the Sanii Makhalima, and we say it with a little funny twang to it, This is the Sanii Makhalima production. Yeah. So yeah, that.
What is Aye?
So Sean Vuzu.
Yeah. Those guys jacked.
Monday at 9.
Do you know how many people tweeted me and apped me and like, hey man, congrats, you got a show. I'm like, congrats? Congrats. Yeah, man, Ayeye show. Ayeye is basically, it's something that I picked up when I was in SA. It was like, it depends on the context that you're using it, Sometimes it's like, it's like sure, like sharp, no, aye.
Shop fit.
Yeah, something like that. And it's something amazing, Sometimes can be used in yay, dude. That's like how they say that's ayoba. Hey, that's aye. So those are kind of things. And I picked it up and I came with it this side, and then they decided to pick it back from me this side and decided to make a television show of it. So it's a bit of a wrangle. So they've done a series. Watch me do a movie. So,
Claim your royalties.
so it's just that back and forth thing.
Do you do the same branding or marketing in your videos? Any tricks or whatever that you?
Yeah, you gotta, like I said, each time you get given the platform to be out there, you gotta use it wisely, you gotta use it smartly, and things like that. Some brands grow faster than others, and some grow before you can even pay attention to them and things like that. So certain things happen, and all of a sudden you see somebody else making television shows of things that that you were riding on as well. It's a bit of a schlep, if I put it, but. If you look at the Ndiperudo video, there's an Ayeye sweater, right in the top left corner. There's a nice little Ayeye sweater there. In the Zachose video, there's always words like Ayeye appearing there, because Ayeye is
Illuminati.
Is the whatever is is the brand. So it's something that it's really targeted at at the kids. They need to grow up. Why I say at the kids, like high school kids, primary school, late primary to high school. They're the ones that need to grow up with that brand. Look at it like your FUBU. That's what we grew up wearing. So the time to unleash it as a full-on clothing brand and shoe brand is not yet here, but it's coming. So that is the market. So they need to be indoctrinated in essence with that culture and lifestyle.
Do you still feel, let's say a year from now you drop your label, that Ayeye will resonate with the kids of today as opposed to the people that have been following you for almost a decade now?
This is why we need smart Twimbos like you guys to come through and keep the culture developed. The essence of Ayeye shouldn't be lost just because society has changed. It needs to progress, it needs to grow, it needs to develop, it needs to move with the trend. If tomorrow we decide that slippers are the end thing, dog, trust me, we're gonna have Ayeye slippers, because that's what it's about. If we then say that headphones, Beats by Dre came out and stuff like those neat ones that you're wearing, which I'm gonna take after this, by the way. But
they aren't mine.
Yeah, those ones.
They're also fake.
Yeah, those ones that you got on, it's the power is in the use of the brand and in the maintenance of the brand. Because it's one thing to have a big brand but not maintain it and not use it properly. So I think that yeah, I may say, hey, I'm a founder of what, and I may be old school and backward, and that's what keeps a lot of these businesses, sinking. I will not mention these guys that had these mobile devices with these high-tech security, what who are facing a lot of problems right now. At least I get sued for saying their name on this blog.
Yeah, I think you overestimate the number of people that listen to us. Here's a thought, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've discussed how you've throughout the years started up building your entire network of your distribution network, how you're going to sell your music. You had to hustle to get it out there. You had to fight to get it sold, etc., etc.
That was then, yeah.
Right. That was then. You made some money. I mean, for the name of, I mean, for someone who's pretty much one of the biggest urban names in a country.
Yeah.
Obviously it's Zimbabwe. I mean, you made some money, but ideally you would have made enough to have mansions and helicopters and private jets and whatever.
You know what? Like I said, the timing of everything was just wrong. When things were starting to come together, the economy went bust. When I say coming together, that full-on hustle that you had and stuff like that, that's when the economy started getting bust, and that's when the money became useless, to put it mildly. And it is one of those sad cases, which is why I think you heard me saying that, look, God has a purpose for us. If I'm supposed to go and be a pioneer of something, let that purpose be for me to pioneer. If your purpose is to come and continue the vision or the dream, then that's your purpose. I'm sure you've heard of startup CEOs in the corporate world. Guys who just come up with this team, the CEO starts up, they come, start up, marketing manager, they run the business for 3, 4, 5 years, and they ship out, and they get a new team of guys actually continue with what those guys have started up. The businesses that the people who live on just starting up something and then.
So what do you think, as someone who's seen how it perhaps started, what do you think should happen next? Because I'm sorry, I mean, I'm tired of making a big deal about international artists who are frankly at the same level, if not below, the level of local artists in the respective countries. But the difference is they're making money, they're making moves, they're making strides in their respective countries.
I think that to even say we have an industry is a fallacy. Industry, a lot of people say the music industry, the arts industry. The word industry should be clearly defined. Industry is not a one-man band. You know what I mean. And when I had discussions with the president,
I was talking to
ultimate name dropper, just me and Sir Bob,
like on a real, when I was having chats with Bob, the time that we
took first name basis.
I call him Bobaldo, because we're cool like that.
Do you know he's a knight? I didn't realize that yesterday.
You see,
He was actually knighted by the Queen. He's Sir.
Oh, send him a WhatsApp, find out what he says.
Yeah. No, I'll meet him later and I'll ask him myself.
That dope. You
No,
do
but
that.
look, on a real, like the time that was doing some work with them, I threw these things and I said, look, we're at a place whereby we need you guys to help, to help take this to where it can go, And he said to me, you guys don't have an industry. And I said to him, what do you mean we don't have an industry? And he said to me, an industry is not based on one person. We come in where we develop, or where there's a chain, a line. What happens in Zim is that Sanii records in his studio. Sanii writes the song. Sanii sings the song. Sanii records himself. Okay. Sanii mixes the track. Sanii masters the track. Sanii then goes to Dan. Dan designs the cover. Sanii then goes and shoots a video with Andy Cutter that Sanii has written a script for. Then Sanii decides to take the product to his own duplication plant where he's got his boys that are going to go and make 10,000 CDs. Then Sanii takes those duplicated products to the market himself, or via Twitter, WhatsApp, Facebook, whatever you want to call it, and then Sanii sells his own. That is not an industry.
Did you check out the credits for, like, we're just looking at just now I was looking with your brother at the Grammy Awards and Brian Soko winning his award.
Yeah.
And you see 12 names or something for one song.
For one song, yeah.
You're discussing that in Zim, it's different. It's
very,
write, produce,
right.
Master.
And then that's another thing that limits our creativity and our ability to be super excellent.
Instead of mastering one thing, you have to
dedicate 10% of your creative energy to designing your sleeve, to mixing, to mastering. By the time I want to be able to record, get out, and move on with life, bruh. And these ones come and tell me, hey man, the song is mixed. I'm like, yo, really? That's the truth. But then we are not really specializing in these things. So imagine a situation whereby we go and record it at your studio, Dan, and then we go and mix at DS's studio. Do you understand? Then we go and master at Umsindo, and then we go and shoot we write a script with Encore. We shoot with Andy Cutter. Do you understand what I'm saying? And he cuts it or whatever it is. We color grade it with some. That's industry, because there's different players and different people who are specializing in certain aspects of that whole chain to get that product out. And as long as we don't do that, and as long as we can't seem to find that it's going to be very, very hard for us to get any form of assistance, from primarily, in this particular instance, government, because it looks like you're a one-man shop. This is another thing that back in the day made grammar strong, but in the present era, it's what contributed to its fall. That kind of thing. Everything was done there. They used to record the artist, they would sign the artist, they would record the artist, they would make the tapes in there, they would market from there, they would distribute from there. And yeah, look, it's but
making money, but
it really messes up a lot of of growth in that industry. So industry is not about individualism or whatever it is. It's about different businesses within the same sector contributing for So that's what we need to. That's what we need to do. We need to get it out, the industry aspect of it correct.
And I think even more importantly, an industry involves everyone making money.
In the process.
Yeah. So that needs to be sorted out.
That's
People need to start making money.
But that's the thing. Okay, view it from a capitalistical viewpoint. Yes, TM. I'm just saying. I mean, you don't need someone to do something by yourself. Like, look,
I'll challenge you there.
I've got $100,000.
I'll challenge
I
you.
want to invest in a business that can make money. Let me create a sound engineering business for all these artists. Each of them will pay me however much it is to engineer their music, and I will be the best at doing it.
Right. This is exactly what we're saying. You see, look, pound for pound. Look, I'm a sound engineer, and most of like nowadays, I bring your music, I'll mix it. You know what I'm saying? Pay me. I don't necessarily have to produce it. Go and get it produced somewhere else. Then I charge my fee. That's what I do. I'll mix it and I'll master it because that's my strength. You know what I mean? So as long as other people, and there's some people that record better vocals than other people in this country, and it's those kind of things that we need to start taking. The thing is that there aren't many people who believe in that aspect of let me go and record at DS's studio, and then get my music produced by MacD. Then I'll go and get Sanii to mix it and master it. And then there are not many people who believe in that philosophy. So some of our stuff, that's why it comes back. It makes it hard for it to be an industry. I mean,
But imagine, Sanii, if you were to invest right now, and yes, you a sound engineer, but everyone knows Sanii as a singer and a producer,
Yeah.
and a sound engineer, and.
Yeah.
Now imagine if Sanii has his studio that is known as Sanii's Sound Engineering, TM, and you decide that, you know what, this is what we're pushing.
That's exactly
Sanii
what I'm
does sound
doing. That's what
engineering.
I'm doing right now. But what I'm trying to say to you is that the industry, or the players in the so-called industry need to have a change of mindset to understand that this to get there we need each other. You know what I mean? As long as there's this whole no, you know what, I'll go and get it done in one place. People are gonna say a whole lot of stuff and say this, that, but you see, Zim doesn't even seem to have a certain standard in terms of sound quality. You play something from someone, it sounds so sick, so hot, you know what I mean? The bass is right, the kicks are right, the snares, the treble, everything, the frequencies are correct, the vocals are in the right place, the panning is proper, you know what I mean? Then you play another local song straight after that, and all of a sudden it sounds like, you know, you know, I have to start adjusting the bass, but, you know, there's too much treble. I'm sure because of the fact that there aren't, pick up a South African CD. Jazzworks probably masters 70-80% of South African CDs. Robin Cole is Lira's husband, you know, Lira the jazz musician. Yeah, Robin Cole is the owner of Jazzwork. He just masters stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? Everybody just comes, they get it mixed, they get it whatnot. He comes and you take out a DJ Cleo track and put in a Black Coffee track. Do you understand what I'm saying? There is hardly a difference. Do you know what I mean? Not to say that there's no difference, please don't get me wrong, but I'm just simply saying it's because we've come to a place where stuff has to be standardized. You take out Trey songs and put in Usher. Do you know what I'm saying? There's hardly a difference. It's because we've gotten to a stage whereby it needs to be recorded right by the vocal engineer. Look at Brandy's credits. You see vocal arrangement by, vocal engineering by. This guy comes and just directs how it should be recorded and gets out, he walks. The next guy comes in, he sequences, Dark Child sits there, he sequences. And then the next person comes in and mixes the stuff that this guy has put together. You see? So it's a big chain. In the car industry, you don't find Henry Ford going to smelt steel, do you? No, he goes and gets the steel from Carnegie and all those other guys that made America, if I remember correctly. So imagine if he was to smelt the steel and aluminium and all that and try and make the car. What? That's not an industry.
So basically what Sanii is saying is stop using hi-fi speakers as monitors in the studio.
There's plenty of those.
And stop with the fake headphones.
There's plenty of those. There's plenty of those. And I might just say Fruity Loops, man. Yeah, I'll just stop there. Fruity Loops.
I'm just saying, man, it's frustrating.
Everybody gets Fruit Loops and they think they're a producer. There's a difference between a producer and a beat maker. This is another,
very
discussion.
good point.
Difference between a producer and a beat maker. The guys that make beats and the guys that produce beats, or produce tracks. There's a big difference. You get some guys who are actually producer beat makers, and you get some guys that are just beat makers. You see, so we have a lot of beat makers in this country, and very few producers. You see, because production is not about what you play on the piano, no, or whatever you play drawing on Fruity Loops. No, that's not production.
Drawing. Cool. Okay, I've always wondered. Say you've made a sick beat, whatever it is. And someone wants to buy it off you, how much would you charge them?
It depends on the beat, but normally, look, I'm not a beat maker. I can make. I'm a person that when I make a beat, I make it for a track. You see, so I can't say just for me to say I'm not a beat maker or whatever. It's a bit difficult because I don't make something if I don't have an idea what it's for. You get what I'm saying? So I don't just sit in the studio and make beats and hope that, hey, Dan is coming through to... I used to do that. I probably got 1,000 beats at home, stuff like that. But there's still 1,000 beats sitting there at home. Now it's yeah, you come here, you develop others. I mean, Jachose was a beat I made a while back and then revamped it with that current sound at that time and changed it and changed the direction of the whole, the whole song, and it worked. So for me to sell a beat, your question was how much would I charge? Look, I'm a businessman, and there are a lot of people who come to do stuff with me. I'm not cheap, neither am I expensive, but I know what I'm worth, or rather, I try to be affordable to those that want my services. I'm a person that will get you straight up saying, listen, you need to understand first what a composition is. A composition is not you writing lyrics, especially if it's a song composition. It's a combination of music and lyrics. Why? Because I'm writing my B minors, D flat, A major, whatnot here, while you're writing your "Can I Get With You, Baby?" So a song is lyrics and music. Yes. So when it's composed, that means that you composed your lyrics, I composed the music. The song is composed by who? The both of us. When you play it as lyrics by themselves, it's called an a cappella. When it gets played with no lyrics on top, it's called an instrumental. So if you look at royalty sheets, if they play an instrumental, the guy who did the music, normally like where you separate music and lyrics, the guy who did the music gets the royalty. The guy, if they play an a cappella, the guy who did the lyrics. You see? So I'm the kind of person that, look, if I'm going to make something, you need to know, I'm all about royalties. I'm all about intellectual property. I'm all about that stuff. Why? Because that's my children's legacy. Anything that I create needs to remain my property unless you want to buy it off me at all times.
Okay. Oh, so basically you wouldn't sell a beat. You would sit down and have like an allocation.
You know what? A lot of what happens a lot these days, Dan. Let's say you come with your $200 and you say, Sanii, can you do me a track? And you give me $200 or whatever it is. People think that $200 is for rights and whatnot. That's the general philosophy, or that's the general thinking. That's studio time from my side with me. That's studio time. Why? Because what if I'm not the owner of the studio? What if I'm just an employee and I'm working for Two Broke Twimbos?
But you're not.
Right? And this is something that, if those that are listening could actually take into cognizance and try and understand where it comes from. I'm working in here at Two Broke Twimbos Studios. You guys are the directors. I'm just an employee on a salary, okay? And you guys, you charge $200 for studio time. Right? The $200 comes in. That's not intellectual property. Just because you pay your landlord $200 a month does not mean that the house is yours. When you now need to get to intellectual property and rights, that's when you come and say, listen, I don't want to put you on the credits because you are the guy that actually made those. That's my stuff. You see? So Sanii, you know what? We want to buy that shareholding from you. You see? Because you've paid the studio time. The studio time went to Two Broke Twimbos. But the intellectual property of that, you understand, the creation of it has still remained the side. Then you sit down and say, okay, Sanii, this is what's up. This is and then we discuss from there. See, it's good to note that a lot of corporates these days are understanding that. So you find out that I've sold quite a few rights and full rights on. Don't bother me. I won't bother you. You play it as many times. You do what you want with it. It's yours. It's mine. Seed rights. You bought the title deed. You know what I'm saying? So I'm no more a shareholder in that particular investment, and that's how I operate. And that's how it does actually operate worldwide. I mean, Michael Jackson owns all the Beatles rights. You know that. Paul McCartney and them all wrote those songs, but all those royalties go to Michael Jackson. Did you know that?
Yes.
He owns that catalog. So
funny story. Paul McCartney told him that you should invest in royalties because that's where the money is, like in musical rights. That's what the money is. The money was like, okay, that's a good idea, Paul. I'm going to buy yours.
So when Michael Jackson actually bought Paul McCartney stuff, Paul McCartney actually cried. He actually cried because those rights were not exactly Paul McCartney's. They belonged to the record company. You check out. So when they are now up for sale, Wacko Jacko had bling bling power and bought the own intellectual property. You know, and so right now, anytime you hear Beatles playing, it's going into Michael Jackson's kitty. So you see, it's a bit of a catch trend, and Paul McCartney's probably thinking, this bugger, look at this.
I think we got
All my troubles seem so far away. Simone. Ow.
Right. I think we got sidetracked. You're basically giving us the story, the early days, Galaxy Records, up until Murambatsvina.
Yeah.
After Murambatsvina, and you guys didn't have a market anymore. How were you guys?
No. Market was there.
Oh, sorry.
We
You
had
did the distribution network.
the points of distribution. That's what got messed up. So the access points were the ones that got really, really bust. So yeah.
After that happened, how are you guys fending for yourselves? What are you doing creatively? How are you paying the bills?
The models changed. We had to fast track the models to try and make money from the shows. You see, because that has always been part of the game plan. But then we had to fast track it because the little that used to get us going, to that we made from the sales, that would keep us going into studio, that would get us from point A to point B and things like that, was not there anymore. It was like whoop. So business models had to change. I think the discussions that I've had with Dan so many times, I've always told him that to me, a CD is a business card. I think you've heard me saying this, and a lot of people say you're nuts. I'm like, I'm not nuts. This is just the model this side. You structure your business your way, and if Virgin Mobile in South Africa, and I went down about 2 weeks ago, they were giving away free SIM cards. Do you understand? Free SIM cards. That's their model. So you get to the airport and they're like, hey, whoa, here's a free SIM card. You see, because the money is not in selling the card, in the SIM pack. So we've all got different strategies as to how we are going to get our money and stuff like that. So for me, if I can print a business card for 20, 30 cents, what stops me from printing a CD for 20, 30 cents? You see? So it's the same kind of thinking. And for me, it has worked for me. And yeah, and yes, it may need tweaking here and there. Yes, it may not, some other people will be shaking their head saying, no, I'm fine, but yeah, look, it has worked for me in a very positive manner. And we'll probably just try and tweak, adjust, and take your money from there.
So pretty much no longer sales, it's now shows.
Yeah, pretty much. It's brand power and how you price it. It's networks, it's connections.
Right. So where were you guys performing and who were you working with?
I'll tell you what, life was so busy that my only free day off was actually Monday. That was when I switch off. Don't look for me, I don't look for you, and stuff like that. Because the cycle was like Monday, day off, Tuesday, rehearsal, Wednesday, rehearsal and travel to venue if it's far, or travel to place, Thursday show, Friday show, Saturday show, Sunday you're traveling back. If you're not having a show in the afternoon, you're traveling back from wherever. Monday's rest, Tuesday rehearsal, Wednesday rehearsal. That was the life. That is what it demanded, and it was cumbersome. It was quite a lot. So we used to perform almost everywhere. When I say everywhere, I don't think I'm blessed in that I think I've seen almost every part of this country, almost, thanks to music, and I didn't have to foot it myself. I've been to Gwanda, I've been to almost everywhere, and yeah.
So you guys were touring as Galaxy Records?
Yeah, sometimes we tour as Galaxy, sometimes we tour as individual artists, but we did travel quite a bit. Sometimes you have Roy and Royce in Kariba, Plaxidas in Mutare, Decibel in Mashingo, Sani, Leonard, Rocky in Vic Falls. And this is all under Galaxy and things like that. So you can, can imagine if you're charging $2, an act, you're sitting and $8 an act, $8 for each act that you make and things like that.
So how long did that go on? Because obviously now you're on touring weekly. So when did things change?
Like I said, the economic meltdown really it really messed up not just everybody. It really took a dent on us guys, the musicians as well. So it's something that nowadays you got fewer shows, and it's man, I could talk forever. But yeah, it's something that we're really trying to work at and trying to get back into. Is just that there's no money, man, in this market. So you find out even for promoters, or even trying to promote yourself, there's a lot of expenses involved: posters, flyers, travel, accommodation, per DMs, if you've got any at all. So it's a really difficult place to be, and it's cutthroat now, because you can come and charge $1 for this, and then somebody else comes and says, I can do the same job for 20 cents, dog. And then, and like I said, our agendas are different. My agenda may be to make money. Your agenda is to probably push your brand and get out there. Visibility. So for you, visibility at all costs, even if it means at no cost. For me, I can't work at no cost. So these are the challenges that we're working, with, that we're facing. So yeah.
So what did you do?
I'll speak specifically for me. I do a lot of private functions and a lot of weddings. That's where I make money. So yes, if I do perform here and there out there, I do. But I do a lot of private, corporate, and wedding gigs. But this year we're gonna try and change that a little bit, because the old band is gone, and there's a new band. So yeah, you gotta change with the times. Although not fired, it's just a new look, new sound, It happens.
All right. So the plan for the new year, obviously, like you said, you're chasing the sheets. You want to make money, right?
The plan for this year, the overall goal this year is African Music Award nomination. Go regional and more out of Zim. Zim is not to sound too ostentatious, but it's small. It is.
So I take it, what the plan is, videos then?
Plenty okay. Plus. That's the way this year. International collaboration, small, big artists, wherever, as long as it's out there. We need to target other markets and network outside of this country. Because I think, like I said, we've reached a plateau. I mean, what more do you do, from here? For not that you're not trying to feed this market, but you've outgrown it in a sense. So, I'm keen on hearing Ice Prince or Sanii and Ice Prince, Sanii and Mikasa, something that I'm actually trying to work on right now, actually. But it's not as easy, Those are we've done Sanii and Leonard Mapfumo 2-3 times. All I'm just trying to say is that it's an era of going out there and putting us as a nation on the map musically.
Did you try get Ndipe Rudo on any of the MTVs and the Traces and the whatnots?
Yeah, we did. It's the thing is that when you're doing it,
the NAMA nominated.
Yes,
Rudo.
Yes, that NAMA nominated.
Speaking of which, we have to talk about the girl. What was her name? Elaine. Sure. Jeez Louise. That's a serious girl, that one.
I wouldn't know. Just
look. Yeah. That's cool. I understand.
Yeah.
It's okay. We will discuss. You can just comment. You can nod or shake your head.
Yeah,
There must have caused problems for you. It's like
no problem.
Yeah, Oyo. Did you enjoy it? Okay.
Nah,
so where were you so affected in the video?
She's actually pretty cool. She's actually really cool and stuff like that.
I bet she is.
I'm actually supposed to do a song with her. So yeah, because she's yeah. But anyway, when we're talking about Ndipe, and it's hard to get our stuff. The biggest challenge is that there's power in numbers. If we have 30, 40 good videos like that, we could probably get a slot and say music from Zim. We always see music from Nigeria, music from, they've got slots and things. I think you've seen it on. But when you now do a Ndipe Rudo video 1, and then you've got something else from maybe Winky D or Knox, it's just drips and drops. It doesn't hold water to the guys that receive these things. So what we need to do, like I said, we need to come together collectively. And take these things in, standardize them. I keep talking about that because once we get to the acceptable level, the standards, and we start competing with other nations, on that particular level, then we start getting looked at more seriously. If we get, for argument's sake, look, 20 videos, that's 20 times 4, that's 80 minutes. I'm just calculating. That's a cool hour of
Zim music.
Zim music. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's a cool hour something, well, almost hour and a half, eh?
That's actually a 2-hour show, yeah.
Do you understand? But if you've got a show, like, that's a 2-hour show of strictly non-Zim music. That's just 20 videos. 20. And these are the things that we could look into. 10 Diamond, Sanii, Junior Brown, Winky D, Rocky, Alexio, Nesto, Cindy, Extra Large, XQ, Soldier Love, Toki Vibes, I Like My Chest. So all of them took 20 of us. Video, high definition, good stuff. When we take it in as a collective, we get looked at as a little more serious, because the power in numbers definitely counts.
I think you have a point, but especially what I've noticed, especially since we started this podcast, is every artist we speak to, we always ask them that question. What do we need to do as Zimbabweans and Zimbabwean artists need to do to get international recognition? Besides everything else you've mentioned, the main theme is there's no unity amongst artists. You'll find one artist will think, I've got the secret sauce, I'll do it. So maybe 1 or 2 artists get on satellite TV and they're not willing to share that information.
But check it out. You see, it's not about getting onto it's about the rotation. Once we understand that constant rotation is what builds us,
Exactly.
Then we'll and we can only get constant rotation if we somewhat come as a unit instead of as single entities. It's very hard to come as one entity with a Diberudo video and expect to get played every hour or every other hour on Trace, MTV, Channel O. Look, to be honest, it's difficult. It's the same thing that applies with radio. Urban Grooves grew and blew up or exploded because there was a lot of us trying to do the same thing. Dancehall, same thing, And hip hop is the next thing that I foresee doing that. You see. So and they're on the right course. All they need to do is keep pushing it as numbers, and because that's where it's going. As long as they keep pushing, we're gonna have a boom in hip hop music. In the next 2 years, quote me, you'll say, yeah, Sanii once said this. But yeah, it's on the brink. Yeah.
All right. Dope. Your latest single, Mashoko.
Yeah, Mashoko.
Yeah, that's very different to. I think it's different to everything most things you've done before, isn't it?
Very different.
Because I know you said it's not a genre, but we're used to a certain feel to urban grooves type music. It's. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just got a certain sound or feel to it.
Yeah, but then you know what? I'll be honest with you. It's about progression. Mm-hmm. You see, sometimes they say that you've gone too far. Or I've heard people saying, what is here? They want you to do the same stuff that you did. You pick up Usadaro and you pick up Ntiperudo, worlds apart. Same person, worlds apart. You pick up Ndofefetera and Kanandada, worlds apart. Do you understand what I'm saying? So at that time, then people say, hey, the Kanandada sound, it's ahead. With the whole rock guitar, the acoustic guitar, the strums, the synths, and things like that. I try, by all means, to stay ahead, but I also try not to stay too ahead, because people end up saying that that's a bit too far. I mean, like Rumbi Moyo from Power FM, she's like, Sanii, I dig your music and stuff like that. I dig your R&B stuff. But this Mashoko for me is a bit, it's a bit, it's a bit far ahead, And these are honest comments, and then we listen. We take Rumbi is a friend and stuff like that, and I listen, and other people are like, hey man, this is some dope stuff, and you always get that stuff. So Mashoko is off an album that has a blend of the Sanii you knew, the Sanii that I am, and the Sanii that you should hear. That's what the arc is. The arc is, think of Noah's Ark. It's reset, and it's a reset of everything. The last album was called Evolution. Evolution was basically, all right, I've done Full Circle, I've done it dancehall, I've done conscious tracks, I've done dancehall tracks, I've done hip-hop tracks, I've featured on these things, I've done that, I've done gospel tracks, I've done this kind of R&B, I've done that, you see. So Evolution was like, okay, this is the full circle. We've come here, Evolution, whoop, we've evolved, full stop. That's what Evolution was about. That's where you have the songs like Kanandada, Kupa Kucha, Kopo Kopo, and all that. That's where it ended. The arc is a new era. Mm-hmm. It's a new era, it's a new sound, it's a new vibe. This is, like I said, The Sanii you know, the Sanii that's there right now, and the Sanii you would tend to hear in the coming, in the coming years.
Okay. Dope. Are there any youngsters that you've seen like this is the future kind of thing?
Yeah, there is one guy who's actually quite dope. I'll be very
Are you going to say Brian?
Brian Kadengu is bad news.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Brian Kadengu is on point. And from the time that I saw him, before even One Star Bright, I even told Barney that this boy is bad news.
Did you go to his live show?
Yeah, I did.
That was good?
Yeah, it was good. So I've got a clip here if you want to see. Some. Yeah, you want me to play? But yeah,
no, it's alright. It's cool.
Yeah,
it's cool. We launched his album, on radio.
Brian Kadengu is probably, for me, one of the best artists I've heard in the last 3-4 years. In terms of
Jeez.
vocals, and then he's really
All right, dope. We'll see how he sounds over the years. I just have a few issues over his presentation.
Yeah,
but I suppose that's stuff that can be worked on. Otherwise, his talent, he's got it.
Don't worry, we'll panel beat him. Yeah, but I get what you're saying. And look, we're all like that, and it needs a bit of, sprucing here and there.
So I think we've covered the full gamut.
Yes,
the full spectrum of subjects.
Oh yes. So
you said something about Nama. I'm just bringing you back.
Yeah. I think this year's Nama's Ndiperudo was nominated for best video.
Yeah,
didn't win.
Yeah, we won
because Changamire, Munya and Bugotten San.
Yeah,
they're the ones who got
Scroll up to listen to the Gudo Guru episode.
Yeah. They took it.
Yeah.
So,
and then, but I think last year Nama you won best producer. I think
that was Zima.
that was Zima this year.
Yeah, those are the first Zimas I was ever nominated for. Apparently.
Okay. There's so many I can't keep track.
No, it actually is the first. It's just it's been like 15 years of trying to do this and wondering what am I not getting correct. 40-something number ones.
Seriously, 40-something number ones.
I'm just being modest. And I'm wondering, okay, guys.
The look on his face right now, guys. He's perplexed.
How many? Well, these are personal number ones. And then I don't know how many more we've produced. So it was one of those, I was like, oh, okay, I'll keep trying. And then
you finally got one.
Yeah, so I got nominated, took 2 awards. I'm like, hey, great stuff.
So before that, you never got any Namas, Zimas?
No, my brother. These are the first nominations in my entire music career.
Sanii is like the Nas of Zimbabwe.
I did get a couple of international awards though.
Such as?
Kanandada. I won a Zim Online Radio for Hit Song of the Year for Kubaguja. Kanandada for like one of the most progressive songs I've got. But those are not local awards. Those are all from diasporians. And, online medias and all that other stuff that they've handed down to me. So but in terms of local national recognition, the 2 Zimas last year were first. Hoping to pick about 3 this year. Just Congo's very sour is saying and
All right, cool.
I can tell you what I think I'm going to win though this year.
What are you going to win this year?
The best male R&B album.
Put it on record.
I'm telling you.
Okay, this is going on record.
If he doesn't, we will laugh at him so hard.
Laugh at you so much.
Yeah,
what did you think of Toki winning best album?
I think the best. He took best album and what?
And song of the year.
Yeah, no, man. Yeah, salute. Yeah,
Toki guy went with the world.
Toki guy went with the world. Somebody went up and somebody fell down. Big ups to the guy that made me. I used to talk lots of crap. Now I sing lots of sense. Yeah. Toge and then Nyika. Yeah, no, look, man. Man. I think they were well deserved. This is me. contrary to I think a lot of people believe, well, not a lot, I've heard a few people saying that what album, I'm like, hey, look, what makes an album? It's a collection of singles, and I'm like, duh. So you think that an album is
but he didn't have an album.
so what did he have done?
He just had singles.
So
Like,
right, what you put what is a collection of singles?
A collection of singles is a greatest hits CD.
Dude, check it out. So you wanted it to be called what? Talkie Vibes.
no, but he's actually, I think it's actually quite genius. He's basically saying my body of work is so dope that every song on this album is a single.
Okay, it's difficult for dancehall artists.
It's not difficult
Because dancehall artists, the albums are actually the rhythms.
Listen, you're not getting it. You're not getting it. If a guy puts 10 singles on an album or together, it's an album 10.
Beyonce,
hold on,
Beyonce's albums, how many singles?
Regardless of what he called it, you can go and do a discography of R. Kelly. They'll type greatest hits as an album. They don't call it a singles collection.
Okay. Look,
So-
it's fine. I don't really have a problem with it that much. It's cool.
The other award that he lost though was a bit controversial for my liking.
Male artist of the year.
Yeah, this is just my 2 cents. They're both my boys and stuff like that.
Did you see Sulu go on stage?
No, I was getting robbed at the Longshan Plaza while the numbers were happening, remember?
Oh yes, by the way. Anyway,
But enlighten the audience who missed it.
Look.
he looked like a genie. Like someone had dropped a lamp and he'd come out.
Was wearing
Grant you 3 wishes.
Was wearing the balloon pants? The
Yes. And the curve up boots and everything. anyway, okay, look.
Look, they're both my boys. It's just that I think we've had this discussion then. I just think that it was very, very, for me, it was just mind-boggling. Let me put it that way. That
Toki lost.
Yeah, it really was mind-boggling. But look, the judges had their reasons, and look, I'm not a judge. When I'm a judge, I'll make my decision too, and it might be mind-boggling to somebody else. But anyway, props to both musicians. They are all talented. One lost, one won. It happens. Better luck next time. That's what's up.
All right. Anyway, we appreciate. Thanks for coming through. Thanks for sitting with us, Sanii.
It was an insightful episode, a lot of history.
A lot of things I didn't know.
Yeah.
I think we might have to have him back at a later date just
You know
to
what?
delve deeper.
All these artists that we've had, and just all this stuff we're hearing about their history and whatever, and their insights and thoughts. Right now, Phil and I are probably like the most knowledgeable guys about Zim music.
You guys could actually, yeah.
I feel like, very soon we'll just take over everything a la Illuminati.
But that's the whole point of Two Broke Twimbos, to educate the young ones about Zimbabwe's rich cultural musical history. Because people think that, I don't even know, where do they think Zimbabwe music started? Because there's so much that artists have done, there's so much they've accomplished, that it needs to be spread to the world.
You're welcome. While we're in this giving mood, I'd just like to say shout out to Birdman for winning all those Oscars.
Huh?
Oscars?
Oh, the movie, you dumbass.
Gents.
All right, Sanii, we'll check you out, man. Thanks for coming through. Yo, this is Two Broke Twimbos. You know what to do. Subscribe, like, follow, everything.
Yeah. Twitter, Facebook, SoundCloud, YouTube, Stitcher, iTunes.
Everything.
Where else are we on? In fact, actually, past 2 days, 2 people have DM'd us asking for the podcast on WhatsApp. It doesn't really make sense to put a 40 to 1 hour long show on WhatsApp because there's no seeker. If you get a call or you get a message, you got to start from scratch. If you got an Android phone, guys, just go into the Play Store, download Beyond Pod, Double Twist, Dogcatcher, any of those podcast apps. Once you've done that, just search Two Broke Twimbos, add the feed. All the episodes are there for you, free to download.
Dope.
If you've got an iPhone, just open the podcast app, search Two Broke Twimbos, add the feed, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sanii. We appreciate it, man.
Hey, man, anytime, guy. So, yeah, we've got a grudge match, FIFA.
Oh, yeah, of course. I understand that.
So when you're ready to get your ass, when you're ready to get your, behind.
But you can't call Dan competition, on a serious note. Sunday night, my place, game night, we'll go.
My nights are on it, so that's what you're going to treat it.
Cinema jobs, mdara.
All right, gentlemen, Twimbos, we out.